Shanann Watts arrived home at 1:48 on the morning of the 13th of August 2018. Husband Chris confessed to her murder, but what really happened in those few hours until Chris was seen loading up his truck? There is so much speculation and very few facts in this case. In this video, we're going to explore the role of Chris Watts' mistress, Nicole Kessinger. Did she have something to do with the murders? Many people think yes. DA Rourke himself said that her deleting the texts from her and Chris hampered the investigation. Nicole played the police. Agent Kevin Kobach, patient as he was, just didn't ask her the right questions. In this video, we're going to explore that infamous ping. Why wasn't Nicole investigated? In this video, let's speculate on why. Okay, so first things first, which ping are we actually talking about? We're talking about this ping at 6:16 a.m. on the 13th of August 2018, around half an hour after Chris left his driveway. So what was Nicole doing in Frederick? She lives a few miles to the south in North Glen. She works in Platteville. So what was she doing in Frederick? You might say, well, maybe she was on her way to work, because her next ping is from Platteville at 2:30 before she leaves work. So you might say, well, she was just travelling to work and she happened to make a phone call to her friend Jim. Leave Jim alone. Leave him alone, I tell you. It could be perfectly innocent. It could be a complete coincidence. Well, it could, but I argue it isn't. Now, these are all the cell towers that are around the Frederick area. This is a current map. So obviously 2.5 years ago, the towers might have been slightly different, but they don't move towers around, frequently. So let's just take this as a standard cell tower map of the area. And yes, you can see there is a cell tower in Frederick. It's just a little way to the east of 2825 Saratoga Trail. I've located that with a little rectangle. There are towers along a possible route that NK might have taken to go to work. There's one in Erie, for example. But actually, no. Look, these are our most frequent phone pings. So she pings in Broomfield, which I think is where she goes to the gym. She pings a lot at home, which is North Glen at the bottom of the picture, and also she sometimes pings off the Thornton Tower, so she probably just lives in between the two towers. But her usual route to and from work is along a road that doesn't go anywhere near Frederick. If she does ping early in the morning or in the afternoon, so maybe when she's travelling home, she pings in Brighton, she pings in Fort Lupton, and she pings a lot in Platteville, because that's where she works. So her most frequent pings are at home and at work, not in Frederick. The only time she's ever pinged in Frederick are when she's actually at the Watts' home. She pinged on the 4th of July. She pinged on the 14th of July. She doesn't ping in Frederick at all. She has to make an intentional journey to Frederick in order to ping there. So I ask again, is it really a coincidence that just half an hour after Chris left to take his family on their final journey, she pings off the tower in Frederick? Come off it. So we've got to speculate. If it wasn't a coincidence, if she really was in Frederick at the Watts' home just after Chris left to take his family on their final journey, what was she doing there? Several creators have speculated that she was part of the murders. She actually did the murders. Personally, my theory is that she didn't do the murders. I have another theory. It's that they planned it together. She told him he had to get rid of his family. And perhaps on the 14th of July, Chris has said that on the 14th of July, he had to talk NK off a ledge. She went to his home. She played with Dieter. She went upstairs. She saw the girls' playroom. She saw the home, the beautiful home, the expensive home that the Watts could not afford. But she saw that, and Chris had to talk her off a ledge. Maybe it's that day. I speculate it is that day when this plan started to formulate, that they could maybe spend a life together if Shanann and the girls were not around. And yes, Chris could just get a divorce, but that would be really, really expensive. So perhaps, I speculate, my personal opinion, of course, that between them they decided that perhaps it would be better if Chris didn't get divorced. It would be very, very expensive. NK may be trying to help him with his financial problems. He's worried about these financial problems. Maybe she played on it a little bit and said, Chris, you've got to sort this out. You've got to organise yourself better. If you want a future with me, you need to be financially stable. Get rid of your family. There was an insurance policy. If Shanann and the girls disappeared and were perhaps found dead somewhere that could not be implicated back to Chris, he could get a payout of the insurance money. He would be financially stable again. Both of them in decent jobs. Maybe he could sell his home and buy something slightly smaller and be financially very secure. They just had to go through with this plan and get rid of Shanann and the girls. But it went wrong. NK went at the early morning. It had been arranged the night before. She went there. She got into the house. She cleaned up, but she couldn't open Shanann's phone. So they couldn't stage text that Shanann was running away. And we all know what happened from there. Please subscribe to the channel. I've been Michelle. I hope you're well, and I'll speak to you in the next video.